is the Ayer Conservation Commission meeting, Thursday, December 5th, 2019. Do we have a confirmation of agenda?
It's set as written.
Motion to approve the agenda as written?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Shall we approve the meeting minutes?
They were short.
They were short. That was monumental, wasn't it? Yeah, nicely done. I read them earlier.
Yep,
I wanted to get every nuance.
and you did. It's really almost like being there.
Yeah. Minus a few things, but any discussion about the minutes, corrections?
No, I think that's fine.
Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You're very welcome.
Lowly clerk.
That's right. Any announcements?
Not a single one.
No announcements.
No.
Accounts payable.
None of those either.
I think we should just go home.
Okay.
We get a motion to approve on this, or?
That's right.
Extra time for that now.
Take a shot.
Take a shot. All right.
So technically, can we open the public hearing if it's not on here until 7? Oh, it isn't mentioned 7:15.
Doesn't have time, does it?
Good one. We're good. Never mind.
We're good. Okay, first item this evening, public hearing, notice of intent, Shaker Road, Pondview, DEP file 100-0437.
Do we have a new
Mr.
name for this yet?
Yeah. So today submitted was a revised set of plans, which you should have in your package.
Yep.
Good evening, John Boardman, Places Associates. And along with a letter that documents the changes, a lot of which were planning DPW kind of comments. What I wanted to do was give you a quick overview, explain some of the changes that were directly the result of this commission's comments.
I can put, how much do you have here, or is this?
I have the boards. I use an old school, use appointment boards.
Good.
And then answer any questions you've got. And then at this point, again, we're still working with the planning board, so we'll, at the end of this meeting, ask for a continuance as we're getting closer, I think, but we're certainly not at the completion stage. This is the plan submitted today. Some of the big changes, big picture changes were the roadway realignment at the entrance. Originally it had curved.
You're fine.
You want
You're
to
fine.
see because here might be on meetings. Here, I do that. So originally the entrance roadway curved and came down here. We straightened it out so that it comes basically to a T intersection at the corner of Shaker Road where it exists today. The rest of the roadway is very similar to what it originally was, with the length and the cul-de-sac being in the same place. This section of the road didn't change. A couple of big things you'll notice is the original filing had a common driveway that peeled off to the right with 3 lots. We've eliminated that. It also had a common driveway that continued back here that served 3 houses. We've eliminated that, so all of the common driveways are out. It's a total of 16 lots, but the housing units have changed. This area here is all single-family homes and single-family homes. And then this unit and these 4 units are duplexes. So we've gone from 23 lots to 16, but we have 22 housing units. So planning was actually excited about a mix of housing as opposed to just more rows of single-family houses. So that was a big change.
So 23 lots to 16 lots, but how many housing units then?
22 units.
22 units.
The duplexes will need a special permit from planning, but they've indicated that they think that's the right direction to go, so we're going to be applying for that. Let's see, we eliminated common driveways, we rerouted the entrance. Overall, the general footprint of it is essentially the same area, except this area back here no longer has housing units associated with the common driveway. This area back here originally had units, and I've got, this is the original file that's down below. And what we did was we took the subsurface detention structure out from under the roadway and put a standard detention basin out behind on lot 9. It's not on the open space, it's on one of the individual lots. And a drainage easement will be maintained by the homeowners association. So sort of an overall reduction of footprint, removing some of those sticking points that seem to be the issues. Lots of little things that were changed. DPW had asked for specific stop signs and that kind of stuff. And that's all in your letter, item by item that we went through, if you have care to read through them. I will pull out this sheet. This is C4, which is the grading sheet, and just highlight a couple of items. We had done a site walk and walked the hay bale line essentially on the pond side and all the way down to here. Based on our discussions at the site walk and the meeting, our last meeting, I've moved that hay bale line to the bottom of that slope, noted that on the plan, that the debris and the stumps and that kind of stuff needs to be taken off that slope, and then the slope stabilized with riprap if necessary, where it's no longer stable. I also bumped the hay bale line out in 2 areas, and again labeled that as hay bales to extend around the existing piles of soil and debris that's there, so that they can be removed within the limit of work, and they're not reaching over trying to get. There was some looked like some piles of dirt, looked like some tar and some other things that had been pavement that had been dumped there. There's a notation down here that specifically asks for the 2 clumps of Japanese knotweed to be removed prior to the start of construction by a qualified individual. I was working on another project with Dan down in Concord, where there was a number of invasive species, and they had a contractor that came in and did the invasive species removal and is familiar with that. So we have somebody that knows how to do it, and it's on the plan that it needs to be done.
Okay.
And then the only other note, the boulder area is within the limit of work, but I put a note on there, this is the area around the boulder to remain natural with only select tree clearing and removal of existing debris. Because on the backside there was some metal and it looked like somebody had built a fort, pallets or something. And so there's some cleanup in there,
Yeah.
but to be able to clean it up, they're gonna need to get in there, but at the same time to try and leave the natural feel about it, and not necessarily cut all the trees there. Let me see. I did mention the drainage, so originally there was a detention structure under here. We've got a standard basin back there. The drainage calcs have been updated and will be provided to the DPW for their review. I don't think that's much of an issue.
Why did you make that change?
Well, one, there was space available because we'd reduced the number of units. There was the space available to actually do it, and the parking is significantly more expensive. So the reduction in number of single-family homes has a cost associated with it. The duplexes aren't as valuable, so it's cost engineering basically, is trying to get back some of what's lost, and that was one way to do it. I apologize, I fell on the ice this afternoon. I'm a little sore at the moment.
Oh, I've done that.
So, and then the other sort of part that we've touched upon and we haven't finalized yet is, in that letter I've stated that what we would like for the open space at the end of the day is for it to become owned by either the town or an entity of the town's designation. And that way it can be used as essentially as conservation land, as opposed to a homeowners association controlling it. Either the town or the town's designee would own it, control it. It would be for passive recreation. I included in there that we intended to work with you to provide a walking path along in the open space. But that we weren't interested in putting parking spaces anywhere, because the DPW had sort of asked what happens with the open space, how do you access it, who's going to use it and for what. So we're hoping that you think that's appropriate and can convey that to the planning board, and then we can work out the details of how that ownership transfer takes place.
Any questions from the commission?
No, we should try to maybe get ourselves on the agenda for the planning board at some point. Mountain go to Mohammed as opposed to, but,
I'll be presenting these plans to them Tuesday next week.
yeah,
They meet early.
They do.
6.
Yeah. Yep.
So you could crash their meeting like they crashed your sidewalk.
Yeah,
So the disposition of the open space, under the OSRD, it has to have a conservation restriction on it. And that has to be owned by a separate entity than the entity owning the actual restricted land.
Okay. Sounds like you know more about it than I do. I've asked the planning board, and I kind of get blank stares coming back.
Yeah.
Because it's the first one, second one, but yeah, so and they're working through the process still, that's all.
Yep.
So I'm hoping we all at least are running in the same direction.
So you're gonna have a homeowners association to maintain the basin?
Basin's on a lot, so it's not in the open space. So
Okay,
that
right.
separates it and makes it a little cleaner.
So one thing we have seen happen is the homeowners association actually owns the open space, and then a different entity owns the conservation restriction. And the conservation restriction has to be monitored every year. There needs to be baseline documentation, which we largely have. And somebody's got to come out and walk the boundary every year and address any encroachment.
Okay.
And we've found a couple of companies that do that kind of monitoring. We just don't have the capacity to do that. And it's not terribly expensive. And if you divide it out by a number of homeowners and homeowners association,
Is the CR necessary if the town is the actual owner? At that point, the town controls it. I'd have to read the zoning section again.
I have it here somewhere.
So it seems like if you control it, then you know what's there and you don't need, I mean, as a town, you can define what's you've done on conservation land.
I'll have to read the bylaw again. I'm pretty sure it does call for a CR. But this is a conversation we can,
Yeah.
this is just details to work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and yeah, exactly. I'm trying to just get it in everybody's head so that
Yep.
it's not left at the end where we don't know where we're going.
No, it would be really good to get it squared away sooner.
Yeah. My feeling is if the town's gonna own it, then it's gotta be open to anybody in the town. And in that case, we'd want at least a couple parking spaces.
Okay. And maybe that's where the DPW was going with their comments, the same thought process.
so the open space residential development bylaw, part of the zoning bylaw, that's still a work in progress, mostly. I mean, it's mostly established, but
I think that's
It's-
the part of the zoning bylaw that's in better shape than most.
Right.
They did.
But maybe if we had a conversation with the planning board about how to handle open space designations generally going forward, maybe we'd want to tweak that. If it does say CR, maybe we'd want to tweak that to allow for a different situation. Like where the town owned it and had parking.
Wasn't that what's gonna happen on Littleton Road? The town's gonna own it?
The town's gonna own the CR.
Oh, okay,
Town's gonna hold the CR. The homeowners association
okay.
is gonna own the land.
All right.
because that one,
A lot.
that one doesn't even have, you know, this one at least has this kind of access from a real road into real open space, the one on
And
Littleton Road.
and it has a lot of value, I think,
It
the
does.
pond and being
Yeah.
able to walk down there, and I'm not sure the open space. The other one's more sort of the, what's left in the back, right?
Exactly.
Well, Littleton Road had the easement access right off the drainage
Yeah.
in the upper
Right,
left-hand corner there, I
down
thought.
somebody's driveway, down a shared driveway that
Yeah.
ended right at a basin.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So
This
that's
has the
not gonna get any
remnants.
use.
Was it?
This has the remnants of the old Shaker Mill too.
Right.
Yeah, yep,
Yeah.
yeah, 'cause
But
it-
if it was owned by if it was controlled by the association, homeowners association, wouldn't they then have control as to say, only we can use it?
No, they would own the land, but the conservation restriction would be controlled by the town, is what we're saying.
right, and the conservation restriction can be
No, but
written
if they're
to
paying
either.
fees, just the homeowners, and other people can use it, they're gonna say, well, that's not fair.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I mean, if it was owned by the town, then it's a different story.
The conservation restriction can be written either way to allow public access or to not allow public access.
You know, my concern would be that if the homeowners that live there are paying for any maintenance or
Yep.
whatever,
Mhm.
but anybody can use it, they're saying, well, why is the town not paying it? Why do we have to pay it?
Yeah.
That would be one of the questions I'm sure that would get raised.
Well, it might.
So again, I think if we sat down with the planning board and the town planner at some point.
Sure,
you know, as a
anything's
commission.
possible as long as we're all on board.
Right, I mean, it'd be good, but it'd be good to have a.
If we're arguing about it, then we're gonna
Yeah.
end up letter of
Yeah.
the bylaw and all that,
Right,
but
yeah.
if everybody's on the same
Yeah.
goal here, it seems like it
Yeah.
would be easy to make happen.
Yep.
Because I have done a couple of conservation restricted areas in some neighborhoods, but just the residents that had part of that thing were the only ones that were actually allowed to use it.
Mhm.
Don't want somebody deciding to throw a 4th of July party on the conservation land right behind your house.
No, and there are usually, I'm in the middle of finalizing a different conservation restriction for
Mhm.
another development. And the list of things you can and cannot do. And that one doesn't have, public access to it.
Maybe the town should buy the Blue Northern property and put a kayak ramp access in, and you could have all kinds of stuff there.
Yeah.
It would make a nice park.
Well, look, let's keep thinking about how to
Mhm.
make this, make sense.
Any other comments?
I just would like to say I appreciate what you guys did there. I think it looks
Mhm.
a lot better, and I think the access road back to the golf course by you trying to utilize the existing road again, it looks a lot better. So, yes, nice job.
The golf course owner came to a planning board meeting and said that was what he wanted, so that's what we've done. The planning board directly asked him, where do you want your access? And he said he wants it where it is legally today. So
Good.
that's how we did it.
Yeah.
Can't get much better than that.
Seems clear to me.
Yeah.
We'll find out when we get to the end.
Yep.
The one little thing I have a little bit of concern about
Yeah.
is keeping salt and sand and snow out of the pond.
We will have curbing on the new roadway and catch basins right at the entrance. The road is pitched towards Shaker Road, so it
Okay.
should run down towards Shaker Road to the catch basins that are right at the property line. I don't think they show on this plan, but
Okay.
there's one like right here and one
Yeah.
like right there.
Okay.
Then it comes back onto the site and it'll be treated by a Vort Sentry unit, which is one of the hydrodynamic swirl separators. And then that discharges basically at the edge of the pond because we're right at the water and I've got nowhere else to go. But
was
it's
it
been
called?
treated.
What was it called again?
It's a hydrodynamic separator. The
Okay.
flavor I put on the plan was a Vort Sentry. It's
Okay.
just one of the manufacturers. Storm Trap is another. There's a number of them. They're all pretty similar in what they do. They swirl the water inside a manhole. Essentially, it gives time for the floatables to come up and the heavies to sink, and then it should be a vac truck would come spring and fall to clean out any of that sediment. So you keep some catch basins to avoid century unit, and that gives you your 80% TSS removal.
And then where's the next set of drains coming up the road?
Jump to this. So there's 2 catch basins at the entrance, about 300 feet up, there's 2 more catch basins. So
Okay.
this system goes here.
Okay.
There's a high point located here, and then we have a catch basin on the edge of the roadway, which essentially acts as an overflow for that wetlands. We gotta give the water a place to go.
Yeah.
We got a catch basin at the entrance where the golf course road veers off, and another set at a low point here. This all conveys back through another board entry at the end of the roadway, and then to a detention basin here. That has an outlet control structure, so you got a big pipe coming in and a little pipe going out, and that slows the water down. The board entry treats it, but the detention basin makes the rates correct. With an outlet, there's a sort of a low point here, which is a flat spot, which is where the original design discharged, and that's where it's going to discharge in the same place. The big hatch is an emergency overflow. It's, if the pond were ever exceeded.
And as it sits today, there's nothing. And I'm assuming
Nothing.
there is, none of this is there.
No,
So,
correct.
right,
Yep.
so they're utilizing the road. I'm assuming they're salting it on occasion if it gets really yucky.
Yeah.
So today, salt's kind of going everywhere.
Oh, yeah, if I don't know how much plowing and salting he does in the winter, how much access the golf course needs or not. I
Okay.
assume the restaurant's still open, I guess, so
Yeah.
they're probably still getting their delivery trucks.
And
So yeah, they may run a sander or salter through there, I don't know.
And as the residents said right now, they plow Shaker Mill and basically tie that at the end, basically where you're talking, right? Essentially, where the first drain would be. So,
Yeah, it'll be an improvement. There's no treatment on Shaker Road now.
Right.
And there's no treatment on the site now. So we're treating the runoff as required by Mass DEP stormwater standards.
yeah.
Other comments? Any comments from the people in the audience? Yes,
Yeah. Daniel
Come up, sir.
Tracy, Shaker Road.
you can come on up, please.
We have our microphone for the recording is right
Here,
there.
I'll let you have a seat down there. I can move my voice from back here if needed.
Yeah, just to follow up on this discussion about the drainage into the wetlands. That's been one of my major concerns for the whole project, is that because this whole project is on a slope and everything's going down into the wetlands, even if there's a hydrodynamic separator and in the drain basin and removing sediments and so forth, I'm still concerned about the amount of salt, not just winter salt on the roads, but the amount of fertilizer and everything else coming off the lawns of all the 16 units. And down the main driveway, as well as down the steep slopes and into the wetland. And I'm just not convinced that the technology is good enough to remove all the chemical pollutants. You know, I can see the sediments through this hydrodynamic thing and the periodic clean out of those drain basins, but you know, this is a very sensitive wetland. It's one that's contiguous into Harvard, and I think, you know, as the Concom's mandate is to, you know, uphold the Wetlands Protection Act within 100 feet. There's a lot of activity going on within, you know, just adjacent to that 100-foot border, but when you get down to the intersection where that main catch basin is, that's going to get all the runoff and maybe, I don't know, where the snow removal is going to land. Is it all going to be down at that intersection as well? And, you know, the streets these days are full of salt and sand and everything else. I'm just imagining that there's a lot more pollutants going into that wetland in one way or another than is being acknowledged, and just wondered what the Concom feels about, you know, how those things are measured, whether the standards in these catch basins and snow removal have been analyzed to the point where you know that there's not toxic stuff going into the wetland.
We do have.
Good
oh,
questions.
Well, I mean, the state has set standards on all these different technologies as far as how much they remove, so we sort of have to go by their guidelines. And we have in other projects limited fertilizer use on projects, although these houses are outside of our jurisdiction, so there's not a lot we can say about that. Maybe we could.
Well, the impact is within your jurisdiction, is what I'm arguing.
Yes.
So,
Consider something, maybe some sort of vegetated strip at the outlet of the basin to try and absorb some of those chemicals.
Right now, it's a riprap pad to ensure that there's no scouring. The one near the street, riprap pad essentially ends right at the hay bale line, which is right at the wetland boundary. The one on the back, the outlet's located here. There's a nice little flat, low area, so it'll go onto a riprap and then it will continue onto the natural vegetation. The hope would be that, yeah, it would go into the ground, and a lot of that would not be overland flow, especially in the smaller storms, that it would find its way into the ground and be treated more that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, really the purpose of maintaining that vegetated 100-foot buffer is because it does provide so much protection to wetlands in terms of filtering pollution and catching sediment. It really is Mother Nature's way of taking care of wetlands.
right, but as you pointed out earlier, that at that intersection, you know, there's essentially no 100-foot buffer, there's 5-foot buffer, and
Well, right now, there are no catch basins and no treatment whatsoever on the
Right.
entirety of Shaker Road there.
Yep.
So,
yeah,
unfortunately,
but
that's the
because
way
of
it is in the
because
most
of the
majority of the
pitch,
town.
because of the pitch, all this stuff isn't coming down into it. I mean, Shaker Road is flat at that the current intersection.
And I don't think there's any active stormwater management on the Harvard side of Shaker Road. There's no
No, there aren't
catch
any.
bait. It's just
drains.
whatever's on the road is just
Right.
going right down to that point.
Well, it doesn't, because the road is not sloped. You know, Shaker Road throughout the whole, as it goes down into Harvard and as it goes out to 2A, is pretty flat in this stretch here, right at this corner. So, you know, there's no runoff into the pond.
We've submitted the drainage calcs to DPW, and their engineer will review it and make sure it meets the standards. So we're trying to do what we're supposed to, and the design has that intent. So they'll confirm it.
Yep, I mean, Massachusetts stormwater standards are really rigorous.
Yeah, and even, you know, apart from stormwater, a couple of those houses right on the edge of the 100-foot buffer, you know, from their lawns,
Well, and
especially.
our standard order of conditions, the special conditions, the 54 special conditions we put on projects, at least 2 of them, maybe 3 of them, address fertilizer use and prohibit phosphorus-based fertilizer and require slow-release fertilizer, and strongly recommend that homeowners test their lawn to see what they actually need for fertilizer, so they're not over-fertilizing.
Mm.
Those are all in the perpetual conditions that get attached to each of these deeds.
But for,
Right, but how does that get enforced over time?
yeah, but for Shaker Mill Pond itself, which is, I think, your main concern, there's only one house that a corner of the lot is within the 100-foot buffer zone. And the rest, we don't have any jurisdiction over there. We do.
And that's the biggest protection, is the
Yeah.
fact that we've moved outside the buffer zone.
Right.
Right, but I'm talking about ground that's pitched at an angle and, you know, stuff seeps in, even though the house itself is outside the buffer zone.
Well, I think we
Yard.
can't prohibit the construction on that basis. But I think if there wound up being a discharge of contaminated stuff from outside of the buffer zone into that area, then we could do an enforcement, but we can't upfront
Yeah.
prohibit it. We'd have to, you know, it would be a case of failure of stormwater structures or treatment structures or whatever, drainage structures, that then would become a problem, but we can't stop it initially. It's sort of like what George said, we have to go a little bit by the technical specifications of current technologies and our DPW review, so.
Yeah.
So my own sense, you know, I'd love to leave it undeveloped, the whole thing, but we don't have that power or jurisdiction. But when this project first came to us, you know, it was much closer, it was like 25 feet from the shore of the pond.
Yeah, I
so
realize that, but
this is much improved.
yes, the main focus of my concern is
Yeah.
at the intersection where
Yeah.
that 100-foot zone is not preserved.
Well,
Right.
we appreciate your concerns,
Yeah.
and we share them with you, and take them into consideration.
Okay, I had a couple of other concerns. I was rereading the conservation analysis, and there are two areas that were listed as high priority areas for conservation, one of which is the mill foundation,
Mhm.
which we haven't talked much about, but I guess it's way at the end of end of this. But the other one that I'm a bit confused about, particularly with regard to the new plans and what John mentioned about the that steep slope, is the area of exposed bedrock with greater than 25% slope. I presume that's the area you were talking about that has the stumps and...
Well, I think that was,
I think that's, off the existing gravel trail,
Yeah.
right here.
those really steep slopes.
That area up at the entrance is all disturbed. It's been graded out. Somebody built the gravel road and has been hauling out gravel and dumping in stumps and material for 50 years. So that's the area up front is certainly not pristine.
Okay, so the one in the conservation analysis, that area is the one on the
Is
south.
Up here.
And here.
Yep.
And that won't be,
That'll be part of the open space.
that won't be blasted or graded or anything of that sort.
And that was part of the area, I think, too, that was sort of the buffer between the project and the golf course, I think, was also part of that. That hillside there,
Right.
as you go down the access road to the right. So that'll end up being open space. And that access road will remain where it is.
Yeah. And my last point is a question with regard to, it says Oxbow also flagged 2 small isolated wetland areas in former extraction pits. But it concluded that these are likely qualify as federal jurisdiction wetlands regulated by the Army Corps of Engineers. So is that something
I
you
can look
guys?
them out.
John, can I show you where those are?
The first one is right here.
Yep.
And you saw it as if you were walking in down the road on the left. And the second one is way back here. And what I suspect I don't have firsthand knowledge to prove it, but I suspect somebody went in and excavated and took out what little gravel there was. Probably used it to build the gravel road that's there today. And then left them, and they filled up at times with water and or some wetland species, but they don't qualify under the state regs. Under the federal regs, if we were to work in them or fill them in, then we would need to file with Army Corps, and we're not touching them, they're outside the limit of work.
I see.
So they will be there and they will stay there.
And that small wetland area,
This one,
kind of within the development itself.
that's another place that looks like somebody was able to take out a little bit of gravel.
Yeah.
And from what the report says, that doesn't qualify as a vernal pool,
No,
Yeah.
which would be
because
of
it's not natural.
great concern
Yeah.
to me. Okay, well, those are my 3 points. Thanks
All right, thank you, sir.
for listening.
Thanks.
Anyone else have comments? Motion to continue? Next to December 19th?
So,
Second.
All in favor?
I,
Passed. Thank you, John. Next item, public hearing continued for the purpose of signing order of conditions only. David W. Badger, 20 Hibiscus Lane, DEP file number 100-0439.
Here it is, all ready to go.
Any comments?
Nope.
Ready to rock and roll?
Rock and roll.
I put in all the special conditions, the signs, Leo did bring us the updated plan.
right.
Thanks.
Good night, John.
Good luck, John.
Motion to approve order of conditions?
We've approved it, I guess.
All we have to do is sign it?
We sign and then we close the public hearing.
Right.
So sign it.
Yeah. We did sign, we did vote to.
Okay.
Is that?
We're just doing the project.
Oh, wait a minute, okay. We move to approve the NOI and draft an OOC.
Okay.
So what do we need to move? Do we need
Yeah,
to
we're down
move to approve?
to continue to 12/5.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll move to approve and sign the order conditions.
okay.
So move to,
Oh, second. Thank you.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? I have to ask it now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't say that.
And then then we move to close the public hearing, or you move to close? Okay,
After we sign?
after signing, yeah. It's confusing, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But I'm trusting that you will keep me in line.
They wrote a book about it, this guy named Roberts.
You know what we should
He
do?
wrote
We
this
should put a
whole
little
book
cheat
about
sheet
it.
I heard
up
it
there
was
just so
very
that we can see
orderly.
it.
I believe it is.
This,
very
then
orderly.
this, right?
Yes.
Just up there, just so we can see it.
So so then you could just like, oh, let me think.
Yeah. Those glasses that they,
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
exactly. And we all wear glasses, so nobody would ever know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
You're gonna have to wear glasses.
You better have a cheat sheet for me.
have you read the Roberts Rules for Dummies?
I have it.
I have it too.
Oh, boy.
It's hard to believe I do.
I just go ask the town clerk. She says, look it up online. Thank you. So this will go out to the applicant on Tuesday because I'm going to Denver tomorrow.
You're going to Denver?
I'm going to Denver for the
Good for you.
weekend.
jet setter.
And apparently Monday. And Friday and Monday. Technically, those are not the weekend.
That's true, but on
Just
Monday
saying,
I'll be in
just
an
saying.
airplane and not technically in Denver except for a little bit in the
Mm,
morning.
yeah.
Anyway, so all
is
of
there-
this stuff will go out on Tuesday.
Okay. Motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Public meeting, purpose of signing order of conditions. Lot 5A Wright Road, DEP file number 100-0438.
So before you guys sign, Jess and I have written a draft of the findings that need to go along with a denied order of conditions. And having you all take a look at it while
that-
we're here together to make sure
I think I
that
saw that.
it says, so it's in your packet, along with the regulations that talk about the potential for adverse impact to resource areas from work in the buffer zone.
That was interesting reading.
Yeah, I was very, I had a nice talk with our new circuit rider about this, and she pointed this section of the regulations out to me.
It seemed like reading this was our lot.
Yes.
It seemed like reading this was what?
It was speaking about our lot.
Oh, yeah.
I suspect we're not the only commission who's had to wrestle with this particular situation. And I think the draft of the findings that need to go along really addresses the issues brought up in this part of the regulations.
And that's in this, though, right? This is just for our reference?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. So now how does this work? So if we voted to approve, do we not sign it? Do we all have to sign it, even though that was not how the vote came in?
We don't sign it.
But it's a checked
Denial.
denial.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
just acknowledging that it's
Okay.
the commission's action.
Okay.
Yeah. So, does everybody have to sign it? I mean, if you guys didn't vote to deny,
And we'd still sign
you
it.
still sign it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Majority rule and all
Majority
that.
rule.
Seems nicely written, thorough,
Yeah.
fleshed out.
Yeah, I think we give the facts and our reasoning behind our decision based on those facts, taking into account 10.531
Mhm.
of the regulations.
I'm still struggling with the wording in 2.
I know.
So I'm thinking, so you got cumulative impacts to the buffer zone.
Where are you?
2.
Oh, number 2.
Yeah, number 2. Cumulative impacts to the buffer zone of that.
Oh,
If we
yeah.
change, how about threaten to pose? Instead of threaten, use the word pose adverse impacts? To me, just threaten doesn't sound right. Doesn't seem like it
Okay.
works, I don't know.
That's
Maybe,
okay.
maybe
Fine with me.
that pose
That
adverse
pose.
impacts to adjacent resource areas?
I kind of like
Oh.
threaten because they
Yeah.
really do
Okay.
pose a threat to the adjacent resource areas. These impacts pose a threat.
This is 2 asterisks on number 3 down here.
Oh, look at that. Oh,
Is that because
Yeah.
it was snowing?
I think it must have been snowing. Yeah, you know, after you read a draft for about the 5th time, eyes just stop seeing everything.
It starts to flow together.
I think I'm seeing what I want it to say, not necessarily what it actually says.
Yeah.
I haven't seen those asterisks, George, for days.
I'd look at my phone to see if they were in the draft I saw this morning, but I don't have my phone.
Oh, darn.
It's a tragedy.
Why don't you call your landline and ask your cats to look for it?
Could do that.
You have a landline?
I do,
Oh, look at you.
yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for,
Night.
good night.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So the letter you're reviewing, which project is it concerning?
Right road?
Lot 5A, Right Road. Lost
So,
our,
13,600 square foot lot, almost entirely in the buffer zone, with slopes on half the lot down, pretty steeply down to an intermittent stream that runs into Great Pond.
In an ACEC.
In an ACEC.
the wetland arc. Just, it's got it all.
So how do you spell Right Road?
WRIGHT is the RIGHT spelling of WRIGHT. You get me?
There we go. No.
So if we leave threaten, then we could do that threaten to adversely impact the adjacent resource areas? How do you like that?
Yeah, that's good.
Threaten to adversely
Adversely.
Okay.
impact
Mhm.
the adjacent resource area?
Impact.
When I sent you this last night, it was late, I was already falling asleep. So as I'm reading it, I was like, yeah, that didn't work either.
Yeah.
And then if there is an appeal, which I believe there will be,
Well, I'm sure there will be.
then we'll be able to elaborate a response at that point then too, right?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Both of those projects are near where bears were sighted in the fall. And I only know this because I actually keep track of that on Google Maps. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is where the bears have been. So
Nice.
just in case anyone asks, it's like, oh yeah, we get bears. So does that have any impact on the committee's jurisdiction? So let's say like, oh, well, there's been wildlife sightings.
Well,
Wildlife corridor.
so,
Yeah, we kind of consider, like I said, the wildlife corridor aspect of it typically. Yeah.
And is
The-
there any knowledge of like the way the bears like to go? Like, okay, they are kind of camped out here in New Hampshire and then they go this way. Like, do we have that level of detail?
I don't believe so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we went to that,
Just probably does.
to that lecture,
Yeah,
it was like a year ago, wasn't it?
yeah.
And a woman who tracks bears, there's thousands of bears, and they're moving east,
So I didn't get to go to that one.
From New York.
coming from Western Mass.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
don't know how.
so Kevin, this is basically what we are all about here. And wildlife habitat is one of the protected interests of the Wetlands Protection Act, so, bears, turtles, frogs, we have, rare and endangered species here in Ayer. And 2 different ACECs, which are areas of critical environmental concern. We have priority habitat, we have, what's the other one? Estimated habitat, which, if a project is in one of those areas, requires a whole different level of review by a different state agency on the basis of wildlife.
Where you got my hand out.
So,
So if you make those changes, I'm fine with.
You know, the asterisks. That's your Cs.
So this would also.
Asterisks.
Asterisk. So this would also go out on Tuesday,
mhm.
right? But if we're signing it tonight, when does the clock start on the appeal period?
The day it gets walked across the street to the post office
Okay.
with certified mail.
For
Yeah.
sorry,
Mm.
quick question. I noticed that on Wright Road, because I remember now, because I just was kind of driving around randomly to get a feel for the place, and there were some really new big houses right at the very end of the cul-de-sac.
Mhm.
Oh.
So where is the new development gonna be? Like, just extending it around the pond?
The one
No.
we're talking
No.
about? Oh, it's a single lot up the road.
Oh, okay.
On the pond side of Wright Road.
Yeah,
It's
did
two
you
new
notice?
houses.
Yeah.
The north side of,
Did you notice a sort of open construction area on the left?
No,
Beef.
I don't remember.
My sister used to describe it as Mordor, but it's grown up.
Oh, I've been to Mordor. It's down in Grafton.
Yeah.
There's a big foundry with a 50,000 ton
Yeah.
press, and they use it to make, airplane parts and stuff. And that's literally like,
Mordor.
okay, so this is Mordor. All right, here it is. It's dark and dusty and
Mm.
smells like burning. Yeah. Okay, I need to find the Mordor Ayer. That's my
Yeah.
goal for.
Well, it's grown up. It doesn't look quite like Mordor right now, although when they start up again eventually, then it will go back to a Mordor stage.
More
Maybe.
doors.
More doors. But if you're Edgeway, Edgeway, Sedgeway, Ledgeway, Right Way, Sandy Way. So at the corner of Sandy Way and Wright Road, which is about 3/10 of a mile down from Snake Hill Road,
Okay.
there's a wooded lot on that corner, and that was the lot that we denied. Just beyond that lot is another house that's been constructed. They haven't moved in yet, but, and then another new house. But
So I guess there are some, yeah, there are a lot of houses that are like right there on there.
There's a lot of trees that are flagged in
So
that.
how long ago would they have had to construct these houses for them to be just right on the pond like that?
How long ago?
oh, all the houses on the pond.
Long time ago.
1900.
Really? Wow.
Was the Wetland Protection Act was what year?
1972.
Yeah.
No, that was clean water.
80s. No,
No, it was
Rivers-
in the 70s.
in the 70s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so then, what was the impact that made you need to write the denial letter?
Steep slopes, taking out vegetation to destabilize the slopes. There's an intermittent stream that's running right next to the property. There's a lot of fill that was going to be brought in. A lot of the structure itself with a two-car garage. We felt was too big for the lot, and just everything combined, having it go into Sandy Pond and being in an ACEC and a wildlife corridor, it just all seemed to stack up.
It's this lot right here.
Okay.
So these are the houses at the end that you were talking about.
Sorry, I have to stand up so the glare isn't
Mhm.
blinding me.
So it's this lot. If you keep
Okay.
going, you come to the cul-de-sac at the end.
Yeah, and you can show them where Mordor is if you pull it down a little bit.
Right,
This was-
that area right there.
It was when they first started clearing it, it just looked ghastly. But
Yeah, if you start clearing those forests, I'm sure you're gonna find
Yeah.
all kinds of nasty stuff.
in some places on this lot, they were talking of regrading about 3.5 feet higher, which is a substantial amount of regrading on a slope to a stream, so.
Into a great pond.
And it may, they can appeal to Mass DEP, the state, which could issue a superseding order that permitted it. I was one of the ones that voted no. I think I was just saying, maybe it'll get permitted, I just won't put my signature on it. So.
And they might deny it.
And then they might deny it. I'll be very curious to see what they say,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, so as part of the denial, we had to write findings that just kind of detailed our reasoning
Yeah.
for making the decision. All right, so.
Any other changes on the?
I'm good with that.
All right. Well, so I have the order with the denial box checked and our draft somewhere here. Written as findings for this. So I can make the changes to the findings, and you can sign this. It won't be dated until Tuesday.
And this goes to, is this like a regular order? It goes, the original goes to the applicant, and then the copy goes to the state?
I'm gonna have to find out. I assume so, but I don't.
Because that's how they would find out about when the appeal period gets going
Yeah.
too, so.
I will call DEP on that, but I think that,
I would think so.
I would think so too. Yeah.
Join,
Hmm.
one last edit,
Yep,
second to last line.
yep.
These impacts cannot be sufficiently conditioned.
Ooh, good one.
to avoid cumulative destruction.
Cannot be.
Nice word addition.
I started with properly, but then that didn't sound good.
Sufficiently is.
More is better.
Okay.
Hey, there was another paragraph in here.
What happened to it?
Backspace.
At whose instigation, oddly enough.
I know. Oh, she was
Really?
responsible for the loss of an entire paragraph.
Really?
Nicely done.
Way to go,
Yeah,
Jess.
yeah.
It was redundant,
Yeah.
but still.
I just want credit for
Yes.
some parsimony
Yes.
where it appears.
Exactly. We don't want to use up all the words.
Right,
Right.
yes.
Okay, well, so,
So we have a motion to, what is it, to sign the order of conditions?
Approve and sign, yeah.
Approve and sign?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Approve as edited.
Approved as edited.
Yes.
hmm.
So motion to approve the findings as edited and sign the order of conditions denial.
Right.
Okay.
Well, the order of conditions.
Okay.
Right, which does, as a special condition, say no work is permitted under this. There's very specific language that you have to,
Mhm.
No tree removal, no,
no nothing,
No
no
nothing.
work whatsoever. No work may be performed on this project.
it's pretty clear. Thank you.
They could bring forth a whole different
Yes.
notice of intent, right?
Absolutely.
Like if they didn't want to build a house, they would have decided, hey, we're gonna make a park or something, but, whatever.
Or we're
They
gonna
could do
build a
something
much
else.
smaller house without a garage, or.
Or we're gonna park a trailer on it. We'll see how you guys like that.
See how you guys like that.
Yeah, so we're three.
Yeah.
We've got a whole bunch of studies going on, let me tell you.
Thanks.
I'm still waiting for the next big town meeting to address tiny homes and Airbnb and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
a lot of ground to cover on that.
Yeah, that was interesting.
All right.
Greatest spot for Target Trail.
Motion to close the hearing.
Huh?
Motion to close the hearing.
Motion to close the hearing?
No,
Oh.
because it was a public meeting. Because we closed the public hearing mistakenly last time.
Did we? I don't remember.
Yeah,
What did we do?
we did, but we weren't quite sure what to do there.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's in the minutes.
It's in the
I can't
minutes.
believe the minutes.
There was a, right, it was a
I
hearing.
know. What is it? Fake news?
You wrote it.
I did, and it's like,
Approved an order of conditions.
ooh, motion, yeah, you moved to close the public hearing, George, and you seconded it. So for a public meeting, do we close it? We could close the public meeting,
Yeah.
Wouldn't
just to be,
hurt.
wouldn't hurt,
So motion to close public hearing?
meeting,
Meeting.
Public meeting, I'm sorry.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
aye. Okay.
Right.
Got the ayes.
Right.
Continued public hearing, Town of Ayer Pine Meadow Conservation Area leveling device. No DEP file number as of yet.
Still.
Still?
And still, no DEP file number.
Yeah.
Yep. We did hear back from Natural Heritage. They have some conditions that are fine, but no file number.
So,
So we wait.
we just continue?
Yeah.
Motion to continue?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All
To
opposed?
12:19?
12:19.
Okay. Okay. Aye.
Next item is the discussions, request for COC Pingree Hill on the 9,
The
nine
nine.
lots?
The nine.
when they're still incomplete.
They're still incomplete. In your packets, you have a report from Desheng, Creative Land and Water Engineering. Before all the white stuff fell from the sky, Desheng went out and inspected all 9 of the lots. And this is his report on what he found. So I think when we get to see the ground again and we get a chance to go up there, we'll have Desheng's report, we'll have Steve's letter, and we'll have the actual orders
Right.
and the approved plan. And I think this report from Desheng will be very helpful in sorting out what the difference between the as-built and the approved plan is.
So obviously, we can't do a site walk in the near future, since,
Well, maybe.
It's gonna be the
Rain's well
50s
enough
next.
on Monday and such. so
yeah.
You never know. But
Yeah, the ground's not that
Probably
cold
unlikely.
yet, but,
what's that?
see, the ground's not that cold yet, so it might
It might.
melt out. But
Yep.
Well,
Time
we-
will tell.
We wouldn't know that until the 19th.
Right.
And the chances that it's
Yeah.
still uncovered.
But,
Yeah, I think we should just wait. We can't schedule anything now.
Wait until sidewalk,
Yeah, wait till we can see the
wait till we can
ground.
see the ground.
Well, and
Um,
again, we shouldn't have to worry about a sidewalk until we actually get the affidavits, correct?
Right, so I'm
So-
wondering if we should have you send a letter
I would be happy to send a letter.
to
Crafted by.
Duke Pointer and the law firm, maybe, and copy Steve on it, but just say that we can't schedule a site walk until the ground is clear, but in any case, without the signed affidavits, we won't proceed on these?
Right.
Because
Okay.
Steve's opinion is, I mean, he knows it needs to be done, but it's not his job.
No, it
so-
isn't his.
Right, so.
Right, so it's just sort of an FYI to him,
Mm-hmm.
but at the end of the day, it's, like you said, it's with the lawyers that gotta resolve that.
Yep.
Right.
And once they get them, then we can basically address it, so
Right.
But,
until then, we're status quo.
so we
Just
won't
keep circling.
proceed with the COCs in any case until we receive the affidavits.
Right.
Correct.
All affidavits.
Hmm.
Well, it's only for 7 of them, because 2 of them haven't been sold yet, I think. That's my recollection. Any rate, all the affidavits for the ones that have been sold.
Right.
Right.
So I will draft a very short thing there, and you two can send it out next Tuesday.
Or do we want to entertain, would we do them piecemeal, right? So if a couple of homeowners signed the affidavits, we got everything we needed.
Oh, yeah, we-
Brown was okay, we go out, check those
Yeah.
out and say, okay, yep, they're good to go.
Yeah.
Well,
So we can, yeah, I mean, they can, you
Yeah.
know, we'll proceed on any, well, I think we'd want to do this, well, we could do the site walk on all of them at the same time, just for our convenience as well.
I'm just thinking
Um,
to, you
but,
know, to
yeah.
show people, you know,
Oh, yeah,
if you just, you know, all we're asking for is to sign this stinking
Yeah.
letter,
Yeah.
take a look at it, you know, acknowledge that, hey, this is the responsibilities you're supposed to have been doing, and as long as you do, we're easy to get along with.
okay.
If you're
So-
done, you're ready to go, you
Yeah.
know, but yeah, instead of saying, nope, we're gonna wait till everybody and, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
all these
No,
people have
not-
done
you're
what they
not
wanna
saying
do,
that.
we've gotta wait 3 months for
Yeah.
everybody else.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So,
it's
yeah,
more
maybe
like.
take the whole all out of there.
But if we do
well,
get a
could do
window-
the, yeah, we could do the site walks all in
It'd be-
one
yeah.
slump, but,
Right,
in
right.
one thing, but then wouldn't proceed on any of the COCs. I'll word it so it sounds like any of the COCs until at least we get the affidavit for each one. But I know what you're saying.
Yes.
I'm gonna, yeah. So as you
Yeah.
get the affidavits for each one, then we
This
would
is
be
a
willing
friendly
to
comment.
proceed. Yeah. 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 Oh no, I was. Yeah. Yeah. I'll get it worded.
Good.
Interesting.
Any case, if they think it's badly worded, they'll just blame John because his name will be on it.
Right.
So we don't need to do anything with this, it's just
Well, we just.
a discussion about.
Do we continue it like a month out, or just essentially keep continuing to the next meeting, the next meeting, the next meeting? How
Well,
do we
this
do
is
that?
just
It's just
a
a-
discussion,
It's
just a
so
discussion.
it
Yeah.
doesn't have
Oh, that's
any-
true.
Yeah.
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 So, see, that one went fast.
Yeah,
Go fast.
but hang on to this thing from.
Yeah.
Sure,
From,
yeah.
our friend Shane.
Yep. Next item is the discussion Pingree Hill subdivision winterization plans.
Yeah,
Winter is here.
it is. That's the plan.
It seemed okay, right? It seemed
Yeah,
pretty good?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So that's all.
Well, there's nothing we can do about it at this
Nothing
point.
now.
Yeah.
Any other comments on that?
Nope.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
turns warm and starts raining, are they gonna have trouble?
No,
Okay.
they'll be fine.
Okay.
The thing that I find troubling in the winter is that they track stuff onto the road from the lots that they're working on, and then it freezes,
Mm-hmm.
which means it's not running anywhere, but then it eventually thaws out, and there's a lot of it.
mhm.
But the stone construction entrances are full of ice, and they're not causing the soil to fall off tires,
Mhm.
so.
Is that
Winter in
the-
New England.
That was the area that had a retention basin that was leaking?
Yes.
Is that been addressed, or is that?
No, and Sheng is not worried about it.
When we went on the site visit? That was leaking down?
Two of them have leaked in the past, and I'm not sure which one is still leaking.
Okay, because I thought they had taken care of I remember the one you brought us pictures with, we went out, we looked at, it
Yeah,
was kind of
they
down the
had
hill.
and they had
Mhm.
crushed a pipe accidentally,
Okay.
and so they dug that. So that must have been that more uphill one. So it's not it's the second one down that's leaking.
Okay, I guess I don't remember that.
Yeah. And it's not leaking very much.
Okay.
It's a funny thing.
Mm.
Yep, but DeShane knows to keep an eye
Okay.
on it, and there's really nothing we can do about it at this point.
Next item, discussion, bylaw and regulations, the next steps. Comments?
I brought my wrong folder.
Oh,
So and you've got some stuff, right?
I've got,
On the regulations?
yes, I got
Yeah.
all the hard copy stuff that you gave me,
Right,
status quo.
the status quo.
Sorry. My volunteering effort has stopped.
My guess is we probably shouldn't really dig into it until after the new year. Which is only one more
it's
Mm.
close.
meeting after the next, but,
That'll afford me.
all
time
I'd
to
say is
really
I'd
get some stuff.
probably, and I'm willing to do this, is just go through and just do general headings from other towns' regulations, like, setbacks or this or that, and then we could just get
That's what I was gonna do.
or you could do it.
Okay.
One of us could do it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
could do
yeah.
it. And then we could look at that and then sort of
I know
just
you're chomping at the bit.
No, I'm happy to delay. And then divide those up, and then we could each take a sort of section and look at several towns and come up with some content for us to argue with,
Discuss?
discuss, threaten each other with as we pose questions.
Sure.
Yeah,
I think that's a plan.
yeah. Okay,
All right.
to be continued.
We might even have most of the meeting, this coming meeting, we only have an RDA coming in so far, knock on something,
Yeah.
for the upcoming meeting.
For the 19th?
Yeah.
So just put that one on there again. Yeah. We'll just see how far we go.
So the next one's 2 weeks from tonight?
Mm-hmm.
All right, very good.
See if I can commit to putting some time on it.
Next item is discussion, applications for open conservation commission seat. This is very exciting,
And
by
look
the
at
way.
this, we've got
I know.
two of the three here in the room.
That's awesome. How are you, Scott?
All right,
Good?
We'll clear the chairs, you'll have the arm wrestle and
Yeah.
a little bit.
So we have two
Two
Letters?
letters.
Yes, we have two letters. Kevin, if you decide you want to throw your hat in the ring, we'll need a letter of intent from you addressed to the, either us or the town manager.
Well, I figured that I should be able to attend a few meetings first, just to see how the process works.
Okay.
And if you guys are okay with me just like sitting over there instead of here and then learning as I go along, that's fine with me. I'm just wasn't sure if, what kind of ramp up process you had in mind.
Although you can't actually sit over here, right, until you're
a member.
right, a member, yeah.
Right.
But we do have 3 contenders, so what do you think we should set up, our next meeting, we could maybe set up some interviews too?
If we can do that, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if you can get a letter in before the 19th, or well before the 19th, then we could set up some time for an interview at the next meeting.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And just as a general information for both of you,
do you know each other?
No, I.
Kevin
don't think
Murphy,
we've met yet.
this is Scott Murray. Scott,
All right.
this is Kevin.
I guess I'll just be at town meeting next time.
It's a pleasure.
And it's assumed that most people, when they come onto the commission, I in particular, when I came on, didn't know squat about anything, but we have a great resource, the Mass Association of Conservation Commissions, which has a website. Twice a year, they have a one-day conference where they have workshops and units on, teaching new commissioners everything or half of what they need to know. But, and then once you know that, you can take other workshops on various interesting topics. So and we have it in our budget. We have a membership in the MACC for anybody who's a commissioner, and then our budget pays for any of us who attend that conference for the conference fee as well. So there's plenty of educational opportunities, but for somebody like me who couldn't read a plan, I still can't halfway. But assume it takes months or years to really become fluid with the stuff. So fluid, wetland term.
It's really very complicated. It's very complicated. There's the science side, and then there's the property rights side, and there's the people are people at the end of the day side, and it's all good.
Yeah. I've been just over a year now. I'm still on the ramp. It's it's a learning process.
Okay.
Like you said, it's a big document. It's a lot of things to take into account and try to figure it out.
The one who knows everything is George. He's been on the commission the longest.
He's recently retired from being the chairman and has taken up the position of sage. Yes.
Well, thanks for sticking around.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I did find this. This is the copy of the Acts of 2018, where the Commonwealth of Massachusetts allowed town of Charlton to have 2 alternate members.
2.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's something we're exploring because there is such a break-in period. We've thought about having associate members, since we do have several people interested, but an alternate member by the state legislature, if you get permission, can actually vote. We have a 5-member board, but if somebody missed a meeting or had to recuse himself, alternate could step in. And yeah.
Yep.
And the town of Charlton just forged the initial path to that, and they were successful.
Did she say how long it took?
I think it was just within, just last year it was filed.
Okay.
That sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
How many people do you need to have a quorum to make a decision?
3.
3 now.
Of a 5-member board, 3. 7-member board, it was 4 for CPC, but
They would have had to go to town meeting first to approve that before they send it to the state, wouldn't
that's a question. Yeah. But at any rate, that's something we could consider.
they? But in the meantime, we should keep bugging Robert to make a decision about associates.
Oh, he said we could,
Okay.
didn't he?
He did.
He did.
He did. Yep.
He did.
Yep, so
He
we can
wanted
at least
to-
get a new member and an associate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Can I have this? Can I make a copy of this?
Yes, you can.
And keep one and give this back to you?
Wow. You see the look?
I did.
That ain't happening.
So I would say, Joanne, if you could coordinate as you do the agenda for our next meeting, would you say, of setting up 3 interviews, 2 or 3
Slots.
interview slots, if you are still interested. And then you could have a thing of mud brought in
Yeah,
for the mud wrestling.
yeah.
So, yeah.
And some twigs for the wetland plant identification in winter portion of
Oh,
the
yeah.
interview.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the technical piece.
Yes. And there'll be plan reading and what else? Motion making?
Yeah, that's a big skill. So moved. Seconded.
Wow,
You
you
did
do
your
that
best.
like
Yeah.
a pro.
Do you say yay?
Aye, sorry.
Okay, because I say aye, but yay.
Hmm.
Do you say no or nay?
Never says no.
Never. Yeah, I had to think last time what to say. I said no, nay, nay. Anyway,
Right.
You guys have any other questions? Sorry, we just keep rambling.
How technical can you get to, evaluate the impact of a project? Could you commission some sort of like dynamic studies of like, okay, this pollutant will travel through the aquifer and then end up over here? Or
So-
can you just have to punt it to the state?
Well, so recently we had a peer review, right, of the, which one was that?
No, spill.
Oil spill.
and then
No, but we had
Littleton
one of-
Road too.
Littleton Road, that's
Yeah.
right. So we had so we had another engineering firm basically look at the application that was provided for a subdivision over on Littleton Road. Again, to bring their expertise and provide us more information that potentially is not coinciding, so it could be highly technical if you want it to be, I suppose. It depends on what we ask, right? But
It's not done too often on small projects, though, is it?
No.
No,
No.
it's just large.
Mhm.
Like, I'm thinking if they are redeveloping a site that hasn't been touched in years and they find a bunch of, toxic waste drums buried in there or something like that, then, first of all, they'd be doing you a favor by removing them, but then, do you get into that, or does that then leave your jurisdiction and goes to state? or-
That goes to another state agency.
And again, our jurisdiction is essentially just within the buffer zone, is really all we can speak to, right, as we were talking about earlier. So, to the extent that something's outside the buffer zone, it's not really in our jurisdiction, we could comment on it, but we can't really, quote unquote, rule on it, I guess you'd say, right?
Right, until whatever is happening outside the buffer zone migrates into the buffer zone and goes through the buffer zone to the resource area, then we have something to say about what's happening outside the buffer zone.
And how many of the projects actually do encroach on that buffer zone, even if it's just like a little bit, like that are
Oh,
going through the
if-
planning committee and then it's just
It's
going?
probably been like over the year I've been here, it seemed like 50-50, right? If you think of some of the things that we went through and, negatives and such, right?
So
So,
50% is a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so if they're here before us, they're doing work in the buffer zone. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here.
okay.
But
And
they'll,
then-
they'll come in and ask us for, determination of applicability and, am what I'm doing, is it impacting you at all or not? So we can vote on that.
Are you also expected to attend the planning commission meetings? So you know, like, okay, well, they made their presentation to the planning people and then they come over here and then they go back and forth.
If you feel like going, you can.
Okay. Or will they give you some sort of synopsis, like bullet points, like how they made their decision? Or
The planning board, you mean? Oh, I don't know, do they,
Well,
I can go back and forth.
So I'm the full-time staff for this commission, and the planning board has the full-time planner. So we're here all day together, and we talk to each other about projects all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, so I pretty much know what the planning board is up to, if it has some bearing on what we're doing.
That pretty much answers my question. It's just making sure there's regular communication.
Oh, yeah, yeah. We have a land use team meeting of staff in town hall that thankfully did not meet today. But we generally get together once a week. Police chief, fire chief, superintendent of the DPW, the town engineer, the economic development director, me.
Zoning, did you say?
Carly represents the zoning board. I think that's most, if not all of us. So we all share everybody's projects so that we all know what everybody else is doing. And if, yeah, that works really well, actually.
And if she's being nice to us, she lets us know.
Well, you know, we do have to keep our secrets, right?
So is this a normal average meeting?
No.
This one? No, not even close.
This was short.
Should have been here last week or two.
Yeah. 9:30, 10 o'clock this is a very,
There's a website, APAC, which has the videos of all our meetings,
Okay.
or at least more recent ones, so.
You can just type it in too. Just type in Conservation Commission videos, and it'll pop up.
Or typing your Conservation Commission videos, it'll pop up, I hear.
yeah, they have they've gone to a video on demand, a VOD,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all just right there. It's kind of nice.
Have any comments, Scott, or questions? No.
Yeah.
All right. Is this RDA?
The RDA, I will tell you about that in updates.
Okay. Conservation updates? Office updates?
Project-wise, Global Montello's COC inspection got snowed out too. And we've got this brand new RDA, which is so interesting. This is American Superconductor has this contract for cables to discharge static electricity from submarines that they can put inside the submarine instead of having to run the submarine through a degaussing station. And they're making this cable right up at the end of Main Street. It's very neat. So the project manager for this came to us about a year ago, I think, and thought he could just build 2 temporary buildings to put the ends on the cable. He could stretch the cable out outdoors. And the Navy said, oh, no, 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 no.
Just
no.
outside?
Yeah, no, 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 no. So he has the really clever idea of lining up containers.
Yeah. Connex boxes, yeah.
And then just literally clamping them together for 650 feet worth, working on the cable. And then as they make smaller and smaller cables, they'll disconnect the boxes that they don't need and store them on a gravel lot. Part of this is in the buffer zone, but they're not proposing to dig at all. They're just going to put
set
these
up.
on sleepers and shim them till they're level. And
Sleepers, railroad ties, you mean? What's a sleeper?
yeah, railroad ties,
Okay.
just something to get them up off the ground.
Right, okay.
And they want to be able to start doing this in February. So it didn't seem NOI worthy to me. But I did tell him that I don't speak for the commission and that you guys would make your own decision. I've got the plan in the office. It's just this long line of little boxes kind of back behind the building where the railroad track comes kind of close. So American Superconductor has their front driveway off East Main Street,
Right.
and then their working driveway is off Sandy Pond Road,
Yep.
kind of behind Taco Bell, I think.
Right, so he said that temporarily move into an existing gravel parking area and through the edge of the existing wooded areas. For the
Which will
temporary-
make total sense when you see the plan.
But so they're not cutting any trees down or anything, it's like, it's an existing strip that they can drive across?
I think they might have to take a couple of trees down, but that's not in the buffer zone. That's closer to the existing building.
We'll find out next week,
Yeah.
or 2 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they're just gonna stretch it out behind McDonald's?
Essentially. On the other side of the wetland. McDonald's backs right up against the
That's
wetlands.
the last place in the world I would think there'd be some sort of high-tech.
Oh man, and this cable is so high tech. It's really, and
That's
Kevin,
really cool.
the project manager, has been working with American Superconductor for 30 years. So he can tell us all about the cable. It's really cool.
Is this like classified stuff?
This is Department of Defense, big deal, super attack submarine level stuff.
Sounds like it's classified stuff.
Yeah. When I went on the other site visit to see about the 2 movable buildings, there were places in that building that you just don't have access to.
Hmm.
It was very interesting. All right, so that's upcoming. Kohler Place CR. I had my bubble burst today. I thought we were all set. John Burns came in yesterday. We went through the last few little edits. I sent it to the state this morning, and they said, "Oh, what about this?" So I thought we were all done. We're still back to being almost all done.
So this is something new they're adding in suddenly?
No, it's
Or-
something that that John Joya at the state seems to think went missing
Oh,
from one of the 50 versions of this thing. And it's pretty minor, but you know, they want what they want, and
okay. So it's almost there.
it is almost there. I sent John Joya's version to John Burns and said, how about if we just accept the changes that they're proposing? Let me know. So we're really close.
It's just disappointing though.
Oh, I was, it's like, wow. I was so excited to press send on that this morning. The next thing is the budget is due before we meet next time. So this is a copy of our current budget.
Okay, John, handle that.
Don't you want one?
Oh, was that for each of us?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's,
sorry. Okay.
I still have your thing from Charlton here, just so you know.
Okay.
Our directive is to submit a level funded budget. They'll adjust your agent's salary according to the step and what the cost of living, so we don't have to do that. Robert takes care of that.
What about the beaver deceivery things for maintenance?
So that's,
Wasn't that going to DPW?
No, the beaver deceivers that we've put in, we've been paying for the
Right.
maintenance out of our old beaver fund, which we've now pretty much exhausted.
yep, we have exhausted it, and it seems to me that there are some this is just our, I think this is just our budget for 01171, that, for that account. I think we also have pond treatment money in different accounts. It's
Yeah.
not part of our budget.
Right.
And I think the beaver money was town meeting money specifically for beavers. That's not part of our budget, but we have access to it.
But it's all gone.
And
But it's gone.
it is now all gone, so
But when
we can't get more of that in the budget.
Hmm?
We can't get more beaver money in the budget because it was never in the budget.
Right, but when we talked with Robert right after the last meeting
He
with
said
John,
that. Mhm.
he said he wanted to include that now as a as a line item in our budget for maintenance costs. So we need to check
Okay.
with
Mike,
Callahan
Yeah.
about all the beaver deceivers we now have, including
Yeah.
the new one.
Yeah.
What's the whole overall annual maintenance?
yeah,
And then Robert had also mentioned maybe having a contingency in there for if we needed to install another one, rather than have to go to the DPW. 'Cause, he's willing to do that.
Yeah. And at one time, he talked about also putting the weed money in here too.
right.
He's still talking about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, he still mentioned that, right?
Yeah, it's an ongoing battle with the town accountant.
So we're not proposing a level budget.
Yeah.
So the beaver deceiver money was in a different budget somewhere else, so they're gonna essentially eliminate whatever that number might be, 1120, let's say, and that'll essentially just get zero funded, and we'll pick it up here as a line item for our budget.
That was, before I came on, I think, there was
Yeah.
like $10,000 was,
Yeah, that was like a raise and appropriate article, so it was just approved and it was put aside, and we draw off of it. We've drawn it all off, so it's gone, it doesn't get replenished.
Oh, I see what you mean, okay, then.
but since we spent it installing several beaver deceivers, now we have an annual maintenance cost.
Yeah,
Right.
So, and now we don't have money for that, so.
and that's, I want to say that's in the range of $750 a
Yeah.
year for Mike to come out and maintain
Yeah.
the ones that we had before we got this new one.
And,
So that's how many? Approximately.
3?
no,
Those
we
three.
got Long Pond, Autumn Ridge, the one
Mhm.
behind there,
Yep,
the one behind the fire station.
yep,
Yeah.
that's 3.
And now the one by the, on the conservation
Right.
land.
Yep.
That's 4. Do we have any others that we did?
No.
And something that came up was on the infamous intermittent stream that runs down into the lot on Wright Road. It was mentioned by Harry Zane that there's now a beaver dam much further up that's impounding a lot of water. And that might be associated with Stratton Hill land.
It's off to the, I looked at the plan of Stratton Hill today, actually, and it's just off to the west.
Is it on the Stratton Hill
No.
land? Or,
No.
is it on National Grid land?
Well, it goes through national, the
Yeah.
stream.
But where the beaver dam
Where's the
is.
dam?
I'm not sure which one of those wetland
Yeah.
blobs has the beaver dam on it.
Yeah. Well, just as at some point it might be good to just look at that and see if that's anything we could urge a homeowner to help do, just because if that did release water and that was going steeply downhill, even though it's not the same volume as the other beaver dam that blew in 2011, but going downhill, that could
Do some damage.
do some damage to Wright Road as well as the houses further down. Scott's house, et cetera. So that might be, if there is a big impoundment happening,
Yep.
that might be something just to see if, to look at, evaluate, and see if there's possibly anything.
Mhm.
If it's,
we could do or not.
it's not near Scott's house, is it?
No, it's up on, it's on the intermittent stream that runs down to Scott's house. But it's way up that hill. We can't see it easily.
No, but I thought Scott was, aren't you all at the other end of, like Flanagan, right?
No.
No,
No.
he's got the well that might have been impacted by,
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking over by the sheds.
yeah.
Having
Wrong
a
person.
cough.
Yeah, maybe. That's right. So
all
we're gonna
right.
add a line item for beaver deceiver maintenance and money for contingency, or like another install potentially?
Well, Robert is the one who mentioned contingency.
Hey, so we might as well put it in if you
Yeah.
mentioned it.
Beaver, deceiver maintenance.
And we see maintenance of about 1,000, to be on
Yep,
the safe side.
yep,
And what did it cost us to put the one in?
2,000.
So then we went $2,500 for a contingency bucket.
Mm-hmm.
What goes under the services? $870, like,
And what have we spent 500 of it on already this year? I'd have to look that up.
okay.
I honestly don't remember.
Where's our,
And the supplies, are those the signs?
Supplies, no, that's like office stuff. The 195 was the new chair for the,
Oh, because we have office supplies below that, so that's why I thought it
right,
was
well,
different types
but
of
you'll,
supplies.
so office supplies got added by accounting and you can see that, you know, there was never anything appropriated for it.
Okay,
And they were just trying to see how, there was some concern that people were spending too much money on office supplies, so it was gonna be tracked separately.
okay.
And then it never went anywhere.
All those expensive pens and paper
No.
clips.
Going back to the services, so would that be like maybe our ads and stuff? Is that where that one hits? Any ads that we have to do? Or is there nothing that we have to do?
Well, no, public hearing expenses would have been that.
Okay.
We thought we might have to have public hearings for our bylaw, but it turns out we didn't. Other charges and expenses, I think that's where we get, the MACC
Okay.
conferences and,
Membership?
our membership. I think we paid $100 to send me to a wetland scientist thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, so services, you know, some of the services would have been printing for our bylaw postcard.
mm,
So we can ask somebody and get the underlying detail, like they can.
Oh, and
do
I
some-
have a file, I keep a file of all of our, money in, money out. I just didn't have time to dig
Yeah.
that out.
The money for all those, the signs, the little,
Mm-hmm.
where did that come from?
That came from the wetland fund,
Yeah.
which is a whole different
Okay.
pot of money that's not in the budget.
Okay.
And adding weed treatment to this, that, I must have left to talk about the database when you guys were talking with Robert about that.
oh, yeah, weed treatment. Robert wants, he agrees it should be part of the omnibus budget as opposed to a separate. So
Okay.
basically throw that back in his lap and say, how do you want us to handle that?
Yeah, okay.
And as you were looking at that, I was just thinking, oh, do we have the solitude report? And then it's like, oh, next meeting.
Look at that. I sent them a note and said, hey. They said, yeah, we got really busy, but we'll have it to you for the next meeting.
Because
Okay.
actually, it's, as we now are, this is when we have to start thinking about next year's weed treatment.
Yep.
And So that would, but we won't know the figure until we see that report.
Right.
So, okay.
All right, well, I will, I think we could leave the amounts of all these lines the same.
Mhm.
And then I'll ask Robert about beaver maintenance and a deceiver contingency. And ask him what he wants to do about weed treatment in terms of the omnibus budget.
What's the fiscal year again?
July 1st.
July 1st?
But this will be fiscal year
2021.
Right.
So we do
So this year to date is
2021
essentially through
in 2020.
6 months.
Yep.
So 6 plus 6.
So the selectmen have concerns about the overall budget, so they have started this process much earlier than they usually do. And there's talk about combining something called the budget book with the town report. The budget book, I think is a more, is an easier way for voters to get at where all the money is going.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's why this is in December.
Okay.
Can we get some info on the other charges that we have a budget of $2,225 for? And we've only spent $457. I'd like to make sure that we have plans for the rest of that money and that they're not looking at that and saying, we can find $1,000 for your maintenance right there.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, I will look up all of our expenses.
I mean, the other ones look like we've spent, nearly the
Mm-hmm.
the 50%, which
Yep.
is about where we should be. So
Yep.
that's good, but that one just seems a little light.
Okay.
So if we know we have upcoming expenses, we'd be able
Yeah.
to defend and say, well, but we have X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Yeah.
And you were mentioning they came out, DEP came out with its new buffer zone handbook.
Yes.
And as we go to work on regulations, it's $15 each.
Mhm.
Maybe
Yeah.
we should all have a copy.
Yes.
So.
Can we get it electronically?
mm,
Might it be cheaper?
I don't know if it exists electronically,
Okay.
but I'll find out. It's a beautifully researched and written document with a very nice coil binding on beautiful paper. It's a delight to read.
I'm
Myself,
trying to downsize.
Yeah, I know.
myself, I'd rather have a hard copy on that. George?
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
Okay.
So one with pepperoni and 3 with extra cheese.
Well, and assuming we'll have at least another member, I'd get a,
Yeah.
yeah, a few more.
Couple more. Yeah.
So we can spend that right away. Yeah.
Is that all we need to do about that budget?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I'll
sounds good.
circulate the expenses next week. This, speaking of electronic, in electronic equivalent, this is, did it come through? 27,000?
I looked at my phone and my wife said, you could be home. I said, oh, let me see what's on the agenda. And I saw that and I go, that's 180 pages. Might be a little late.
Well, so what they did was just to go through their files from 2004 and pull out all the stuff from 2004 and reprint it. Say, here you go. I talked to the engineer to remind him to to send this to me electronically. And he said, oh yeah, we haven't flagged the wetlands yet. And now it looks like it might take, it's gonna be a while before we can do that. I said, okay. But in my mind, this is so old that,
What's the date on it? I'm sorry.
2004.
4.
This was from the last time they
Mhm.
tried to develop this property.
Yep.
So it's kind of a nice, it's all the MIPA filings, but it's old.
It's out of date.
Yeah.
Well, many of those filings you're gonna have to redo.
Well, Bob Collins thinks he can just get an amendment to the conservation management plan that came out of the 2004 work.
Well,
I said, wow, I don't think so. Which made me realize that when Mark, the planner, and I sit down across from Dave Moulton and Bob Collins and the engineer, that we probably ought to have an attorney on our side of the table too. Especially after that last meeting where Bob Collins was saying, oh yeah, we're just gonna amend it.
Robert did say, if we do the appeal, so this is pertinent, if the Wright Road property is appealed and if we find out in advance that the applicant's bringing a lawyer to the visit with DEP, Robert said we should let him know, and then he would have somebody from town council there for us. And then he said something, didn't he say something then about some things where it might be a good idea if there's for big things, if there's a lawyer present for the other side, that we should have one
Right.
as well.
Yeah, and I was there for that part of the conversation and said, wow, I was really uncomfortable at this last Stratton Hill meeting. And it's good to know that we could have a balanced table.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think on this gigantic thing, it's kind of a nice historical record of what happened last time, but this is not what I would call the conservation analysis. And I think they really can't do the conservation analysis until they get the wetlands flagged, because that drives everything else.
Sure.
So that's where we are with that.
They can't flag the wetlands at this point until,
The snow's not on the ground.
well, you have to start getting some growth, right?
No,
Yeah.
no, you
At
can do
least
it
it's
in the
not-
winter
okay.
if you're good, but, do you know about Snowflake Bentley?
Mm-mm.
Snowflake Bentley? Wilson Bentley was a guy who lived in Jericho, Vermont, at the end of the 1800s. He is the very first person to figure out how to take a photo micrograph of a snowflake. And he's the one who figured that after taking 5,000 of these and not finding any two alike, that there probably were no two alike. And these are some of his photographs.
Hmm.
Yes, so that's today's picture
Okay.
of the day.
That boggles the mind, doesn't it?
So how many of those are in my backyard?
Exactly.
That's why I
Actually, none of them.
you picked right up on that. So I put this out as our conservation post
Yeah.
on Tuesday during the snowstorm.
Nifty.
It is nifty. There's a fabulous children's book called Snowflake Bentley about Wilson Bentley.
I'm not sure I want that nickname.
Well, and the sad thing is, he got kind of obsessed about this, and he had a really bad cold, and he went out and was taking his pictures anyway, and it turned into pneumonia, and he died.
Well, that is sad.
It is sad.
Do
Jeez.
they leave that out of the children?
That's right.
The last 2 pages just stops.
Yeah.
Goes from PG-13 to PG.
Right. Yeah. That's all I've got.
Any member updates?
I'd just say that I still think at some point it would be helpful to just have a cross conversation, board to board with the planning board.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
Well, who can, they will have posted their agenda
Yeah.
by the time I get back.
I wasn't quite thinking next Tuesday, but
No.
also it'd be good to maybe review with them and also with ourselves, because I'm not fully clear on it, is the whole nature of conservation restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be good to know
Yeah.
a little bit better.
Well, and I can walk you through that
Yeah.
on any time. And have a discussion about that, a discussion item. All right.
Anything, George?
At the CPC meeting last night, it was mentioned that the town has been offered the land across from Tiny's.
Probably
Offered?
To
Offered to purchase.
offer to purchase.
Yes, yep.
So that runs all the way around to the buildings on Bishop Road. That lot along the railroad was contaminated and remediated. It was remediated in place. They added some binder to the soil in that area.
Mm.
So just, they should be aware of that.
Okay.
We probably have a final report on that to get waterlogged.
It probably is up there in the, yeah.
Well, wouldn't they would have to do at least a phase 1, and that would probably trigger
Yes,
a
Yeah.
phase 2.
Yeah.
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 How much land is that?
It's like 7 acres, but a lot of it is wet.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is for the senior center,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Maybe.
Mark?
Tuesday, there was a really cool New Hampshire Chronicle on, and it was all about trees.
Mm.
And so it's kind of neat. Talked about stuff out in the Harvard Forest and the tree.
Oh, the long-term ecological research towers that they have out there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they actually have a tree that has a Twitter account. I don't know if you guys are aware of that.
No.
And you can tweet to the tree, and it will tell you what's going on. And
Oh.
it would also tell you what visitors it has, because it has a camera on it.
Good.
And you can, yeah, so it's kind of neat. So if you
Do you
if you have anything on demand or whatever, like I said, it was Tuesday's New Hampshire Chronicle.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a really cool episode. So we were watching it, and again, the folks out there that are recording all these massive trees, and then like there's a number of them at Harvard Forest that are on the register for, you know, some of the tallest, biggest, longest, oldest, whatever.
Well,
Yeah,
if you,
kinda a lot of
if you
neat stuff.
find the Twitter account for the tree, you should send it to us, the rest of us.
Okay,
I'll look
yeah,
for it.
will, actually.
I would look for it right now,
Actually-
except I don't have my phone.
Yeah, my wife,
You're doing very well, though, by the way.
my wife sent me something.
Well, just going to the Harvard Forest is a treat. There's a
Mhm.
I've never been, but I'm gonna
there's a
make the trip.
The Fisher Museum at the Harvard Forest has these beautiful dioramas of land cover change over time, from post-glacial to about the 1930s.
Mhm.
So the deforestation for agriculture, and then farm abandonment and reforestation. And the dioramas were all made by hand. Every tree is made from twisted copper wire.
Mm.
And the best diorama of all is the last one that shows how they made the dioramas. One rock at a time for the stone walls.
Yeah, yeah.
These things, they are beautiful. And the trails out there are lovely. It's a,
Hmm.
it's a fantastic place.
Actually, I take that back. It wasn't the New Hampshire Chronicle, it was the Mass one that they do
New
on
England
Channel
Chronicle?
5. New England
Mhm.
Chronicle?
New England.
Yeah, it wasn't the Mass one. But yeah, and they chatted with Michael Wojtek.
How do you
It's like-
spell that?
Wojtech.
He's the guy who wrote the Bark book.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right, so they were talking about the Bark guy.
He's like my
Yeah.
hero.
Yeah, so, so they were talking to him and everything, so, yeah, it was a good episode. That's all I got.
Got the bark guy, snowflake guy.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
Adjournment guy. No,
No, we have no committee updates, right, correct? Other than- No committee.
not
so that's it.
really. I mean, George just gave something from the CPC that
That's it.
I totally forgot about. Oh, but actually, I didn't know about what you said. So,
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
bye.